Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk all about gold farming in 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. Now there are other guides out there, but I'm going to try to be as succinct as possible with mine, and I think now is a perfect time to do a gold farming guide because two of the sort of combo missions that go on half cost stamina are happening side by side, or sort of back to back. So we're going to cover the 3 main ways that you farm for more gold. You have, of course, Veronica and selling your treasures. You have food, farming for food, and then using that food to generate more gold, and how you can generate more gold in the tavern. And then you have the last way of getting gold, which is farming books in the Solgris dungeon when it's half cost stamina, which is about to happen, I believe, at today's daily reset, which for me is in about an hour. So the very first way that you get food, the very first way that you get gold, and I've covered this before in a 7 essential tips for 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, but it's right here in the tavern. You go over to the podium and you summon Veronica. You get 1 free summon per day, so be careful. If you try to summon her again on the same day, you'll have to pay a diamond each time, so I can't show you the summon of her specifically this time, but you get 1 free per day. You don't necessarily have to summon her every single day, but you summon her when you don't have any gold. That's the first step. And the second step is you summon Veronica into the tavern when you have enough of these treasure chests to sell. If you only have a few, it's probably not going to be worth your while to sell them. You shouldn't really be selling anything else in your inventory. They have uses, but these don't have a use. They're only to be sold for gold, but you should not sell them here like this. You can, but you should not. You summon Veronica, you talk to her, she chooses one of 4 or 5 different foods that she wants. You go and you purchase that food. You can't cook it, I think. You just go to the town, you just follow the prompts, and you go and you buy it. You come back to the tavern, you give it to her, and no thanks, but no thanks. You give her the food, and then she will give you back the gold that you spent to buy the food, and then she will give you a 1-hour buff. The 1-hour buff will make all of the things that you sell to vendors worth 20% more. Then you go to any vendor in any of the 6 chapters in any of the towns, Dalmali, Post Town Tala, whatever, Videl, or whatever it's called, Vanya. You go there and then you sell your treasures. So that's sort of the easy thing. That's the easy way to get gold, and that's something that you're going to master very, very quickly. The only extra tip that I'll add to that is once you summon Veronica, she's not going to show up in the tavern. The game actually has to load her model in, so you actually have to trigger a loading screen. The fastest way to do that, because even if I summon Veronica now, she wouldn't replace this girl. She'll always sit here, but she wouldn't be, or here. She wouldn't replace these chicks. She's not going to replace Helbram, who is the one that's here right now. So the easiest way to trigger Veronica is to just go to PvP. It's going to load up a loading screen, which will then trigger the character model to get loaded in, and then just go back to the tavern. Okay, so you know how to get gold that way. That's easy. That's easy. You know, Alex, that's too easy. I need some more advanced tips. I need more of the good stuff. Okay, here we're getting into the more advanced stuff. Now it's going to depend on what is happening, what events are. Thank you guys, but no thank you. It's going to depend on how much gold you can farm extra, in addition to what I just showed you, is going to depend on what events are live in terms of half cost stamina. Now, some weeks in 7 Deadly Sins, nothing is half cost stamina. Those weeks, it's less efficient to do any of these tips. You can still do them, but you're just not going to get as much. You're only going to get half as much because everything's going to cost the regular amount of stamina. So usually on those like off weeks or those down weeks where nothing is half off, nothing has an event for stamina, you should probably focus more on PvP. That's the advice that I've gotten. But right now is the free stage stamina decrease. I've only got an hour to do it. The free stages are the stages where you can farm for gear, and you can farm for food, and you can also farm for other things as well, like awakening materials. But those are the big key ones: gear and food. Now, gear, you need gear. You got to farm gear. You could sell gear, but it's a huge waste. You should +1 your gear. You should enhance it to +1 and then salvage it. So you can't make gold by farming gear. It's just not going to work. You can't sell gear to other players. It's not that kind of game. This is not Diablo 3 original auction house type stuff. But with the ingredients, you can make a lot of gold. So we're going to go over to Bon here, and this is what I've been doing for the past few hours. I've been farming for pudding. My babies, you want to make pudding. You want to make milk pudding. You want to make hay. You want to make a lot of things. But you want to make milk pudding or egg pudding. It doesn't really matter which one. You can see the ingredients are slightly different, but you can basically, they've designed it so you can basically farm 2 of the ingredients, either the 2 milks or the milk and the egg, in one stage. And then there's another stage where you can farm the flower or whatever it's called, Breath of Danafor. So you're going to have to divide your time evenly between farming those stages, but you want to farm those stages right now because they're half cost, so you're going to get way more. Now, originally, I was farming the hard version of the stages, but you shouldn't do that. You can see the ingredients there, but these are not the ingredients that I want. So we're going to go over to Chapter 2. They're available in Chapter 2 and Chapter 6, so you can just decide which ones you want. Different strategies, you know, will give you different results. So here you can get Breath of Danafor and the 2 different milks. Here you can get, all right, this is a different kind of milk, actually. Here you can get 2 different milks and the eggs. So you're going to have to split your time between Broken Ruins and Dalmani Plains. Or not split your time. Split your time and split your energy. But you could have been running this all night, for example. Now, there are 3 stages to each of these cooking missions for the ingredients. The rewards do get better, okay? You do have a chance of getting a box with 3 instead of 1. It's a low chance. You have a basically 22% chance to get 2 or 3, and then you have a majority chance of just getting 1. I was originally doing the last stage, but I was informed that the first stage is actually the most efficient. So this is my advice to you. Play the easy stage for these ingredients to make the pudding, okay? Play the easiest stage, and then here's the other tip. Only put 1 character. Put your main farming character, whether it's Red Hauser or Green Elizabeth and Hawk, or it's Wineheart, just a character that has a lot of AoE attacks. Even Blue Diane could be your farmer because this stage is extremely easy. So even newer players can do this. You can see these guys are level 18. They get chopped up quick. Put 1 character, it'll go faster. These stages should take 30 seconds or less. And because right now it's half off, it's only costs 2 energy, you're going to run through tons of these, and then you're going to end up with an inventory that looks like this. So we go over to my cooking tab, and you can see that I've got over 100 milk, I've got 72 eggs, and I've got 50 Breath of Danafor, and I can also mix it up. I've got some honey as well for the 2 kinds of pudding. Now, why am I making pudding? Why am I so obsessed with pudding? Well, it's not from a childhood trauma that I had. The pudding, when you eat it, when you consume the pudding, it gives you 100% gold gain. So it's only going to work for 1 battle, or like 1 attempt at something. So there are basically 2 ways, two instances where you want to use this pudding. One is in extreme deathmatch. If you can do the extreme death matches for either Red Demon or Gray Demon, that is going to net you, I believe it's 18,000 gold regularly. So doing this will net you 36,000 gold, or maybe it's 36 and it'll net you 72. Anyways, it's one of the higher single gold missions. That is one part of the cooking. There's more to it. So you may not want to use all of your pudding on that, but you have extra pudding. You know, Alex, I farmed up a bunch of pudding, and I don't play that much deathmatch, so I still have a lot of pudding left over. I have more tips for you. On top of using the pudding, by constantly cooking the pudding with Bon, you're going to level up the pig. Okay, so you want to go in here once you've leveled up your pig. You see I got a bunch of gold here. It's not a lot, but it adds up. You're going to want to put, and I think I have the pudding here already. You're going to want to put the pudding here because once the pudding gets to level 5, it's going to give you the most amount of gold. You want to generally choose gold missions here that are going to take the longest time, because the longer it takes, the more gold it gives you. And then the higher level it is, the more gold it gives you. So as you can see here, this is a level 3 pudding. I'm getting 9,000 gold in a day. This is level 1 pudding. I'm getting 4,000. This can go all the way up to level 5. So it does add up. So get both puddings up to level 5 for the cooking as soon as possible. Every time you cook it, you'll get more. I believe the chance to get like an ultra success is higher for level 5, you know, cooking recipe versus a level 1. And then you'll be able to get more money from the pig. But that is not all. There's one more step that I am going to tell you, which is farming for books. Now, you don't farm for books right now, but I believe after the daily reset, the half off stamina is going to switch from the free stages, the gear and the food, and it's going to half stages for these enhance and evolve in the Solgris dungeon. Not these ones, because these cost keys, but these ones here in the middle. When these cost half, that's when you farm the hell out of one of the book stages. Now, I believe that the red book stage is the fastest in terms of going through as many times as possible, but if you are a newer player, you probably want to try to farm them evenly, or maybe like one night you auto farm blue overnight, one night you farm red overnight, and one night you farm green overnight, so that you can stack them up, because you're going to need them for limit breaking your characters. However, one tip, the green one is the hardest. No, not the green one. Sorry, I lied. The blue one is, I got them confused. You have to bring green characters. The blue one is the hardest. The boss at the end, can one-shot you, especially with the alt. Garula is a dragon, very scary. The mobs are easy, but the boss is harder. So just test your team out a few times to make sure you can auto it. But basically, you're going to auto these stages overnight. You're going to set it to auto farming. You should know how to auto farm by now. You go over here, no restriction, use up my potions, and it's just going to go all night. You're going to get like 100, 200 runs in, etc. Buy extra stamina potions. We'll talk about that in a second. So you've auto farmed these missions overnight to get the books. But on top of that, you combo that with the previous step from the previous day where you've been farming up all those ingredients and you've been baking all that pudding with Bon, and you say, eat a dish, this one, and you auto eat. I didn't want to do that. Anyways, so now it's gonna consume a pudding, play the mission, get the book, consume a pudding, play the mission, get the book, and you farm even more gold this way rapidly. Then you farm that out overnight. You get all that extra gold from the pudding in the missions. It's not going to be as much as deathmatch, but obviously if you have 1,000 puddings, you're not going to be able to play 1,000 death matches. It's going to take too long. So this is a way of burning through your excess puddings. But then you're going to have a ton of books. Now you can't boost the cost of books. You can't boost the sale of books through Veronica. But what you'll end up having is things like this, where I have almost 300 4-star books, and I have a shit ton of 3-star books as well. So you can see I've been doing auto farming. I did auto farming last week. So then what you do is when you have like 500-600 of these 3-star books, here we go. Every stack is worth a third of a million gold. And then if you want to do the 4-star variety, I don't know if it's, I think it's worth more. Yeah, over 1 million gold. So if I can farm, 200-300 of these, that's 3, 4, 5 million gold in one night, because you also count the gold that you're getting from the stage. So all of these steps comboed together will, allow you to farm a heck of a lot more gold faster and more efficiently. So always take advantage of the stages that are half off. Realize if you need lots of awakening crystals for your gear, so go farm gear and then +1 it and salvage it. But if you need gold, you should be farming up ingredients, making that pudding, and then for the next time when the dungeons are half off, you should be auto farming the dungeons overnight to sell the books and eating the pudding while you're farming to get even more gold. Obviously, the last thing is to play this one. It's the gold mission. You use the keys for it. It literally says gold here, and you get these treasures. The last step, I have one more tip for you guys, is for these dungeons here, the ones that require these balls, don't play the potions for XP, and don't play the books. Always, always, always play this one right here to get even more of these, to get even more gold. Gold is the rarest resource in the game long term. You're going to need a lot of it. You need gold for everything, awakening, gear, etc. So just gold, 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 gold all the time. The very last step here, as far as your stamina goes, this is actually a step that I was given as advice because I was making a mistake, is the coin shop. Silver coins versus friendship coins. Where should you spend these two pieces of resource? For the friendship coins, I was making the mistake of using them to buy, as you can see, it says sold out. I was making the mistake of using them to buy stamina pots. That's not a good idea. What you should do is you should save up your friendship points until you have 2,000, and then buy one of these keys, and then use them to go back into the dungeon, get more treasures, to get more gold, and get more chances to get pendants. Rare, super rare, and super, super rare pendants. Then you have extra silver coins when you do pulls and you get lots of dupes. What should you spend those on? You should spend those on stamina pots. Players that are better than me, that have been playing for longer than me, have done the math. This is the way to do it. I was thinking to do it reverse. So friendship coins on pots and silver coins on these. Bad idea. Do it the way that I just explained it. Here is the dungeon keys, here is the stamina pots, and you will profit massively. So hopefully these tips have helped you guys farm more gold. If there's any other tips for gold farming that I've left out, please let me know down below. I tried not to leave anything out, but maybe I did. There's also some tricks for like buying things at discounts, but that's like saving gold when you're spending. That's not really generating gold. Anywho, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.